Aloha, my love. This this message is for my horse lovers, my horsey soul sisters, my high vibe, conscious horse women or men that know and get the idea with our horses that horses never lie and that they are always congruent, and that when you think about that idea that there really aren't any problem horses, only problem humans, and not that the humans are wrong or intentionally, you know, being a problem. It's just a matter of a lack of awareness or understanding or communication or connection. And if you know this, well, how would you like to apply this wisdom that you have as a horsewoman to manifesting other things in your life, to raising the bar and elevating your life and business, to a higher level in terms of your standards, your values, your vision, and what you actually think is possible. My name is Helena Das, and I have gone from a renegade vet to horse shaman to these days. I call myself a shepreneur. She is an acronym I coined that stands for Sacred Horse Energy. And horses are such a sacred medicine and part of my life, my journey, which I'm not going to get into now, but they have truly helped me not only ground my soul, but some of the most magical blessings and transformation, elevation, healing has taken place either directly because of what I like to call the medicine of the horse, or indirectly through the 5D medicine of the horse, the wisdom, the spirit, the energy that they have so graciously and huge-heartedly given to me over the years, whether they be my own or the hundreds of horses I've worked with back in the day from my renegade holistic equine practice. So what I want to talk to you today about is this idea of congruency, of integrity, and what probably a lot of the personal development world and the coaching industry is calling alignment, okay? And so I would love to share with you my thoughts on this through the lens of horse, okay? And so if you are one of those people who, like me, for years, maybe you tried to do like affirmations, or maybe you try to be a positive person and think positive, right? And, I think there has been this movement for quite some time in the spiritual communities, which I very much am a part of because I'm kind of woo. So when we think about there's this idea that we have to be kind of like positive all the time and high vibe all the time. And what I want to say to kind of bust that myth is that if you look at your horse or horses, you know that they are always being authentic, right? They're always being true. And they are not kind of suppressing or ignoring or repressing the parts of themselves that might not be considered quote unquote high vibe or positive thinking. And in the same vein, while as humans we may have some different what is the word I'm looking for, abilities, if you will, in terms of logic and intelligence and reason. And by the way, I think they are way more tuned in than we are, and their wisdom and oneness and consciousness is something that we can truly learn from. But truly, at the end of the day, what I want to say is that when we are not being true to understanding that our negative thoughts, our negative emotions, and the things that we are actually suppressing and repressing and sort of stuffing down, like just like we might pack like the trash, right? When we are doing that, we are absolutely doing a disservice to ourselves and the world, okay? And so I want you to know that it is your opportunity to actually look at yourself and ask yourself and get really honest with yourself and ask yourself if there is a part of you that when you say you're going to try to be positive, you're trying to do your affirmations, you're trying to do your journaling, you're trying to do all the things, and ask yourself, does it feel true and aligned to you? Are you sort of like trying to put whipped cream on top of something that doesn't feel so good or taste so good? Are you trying to cover up something that underneath is actually maybe not so seemingly positive? Maybe it's a negative or heavier energy or emotion or past wound or trauma that hasn't been resolved or integrated yet. If that is the case, what I want you to know that the answer doesn't necessarily mean that we have to go and dig up those old wounds, that we have to do more healing, that we have to try to fix ourselves, because my core belief is that we are all ready enough and we don't have to fix ourselves, right? There's none of that in my world. But what we can do in order to elevate and expand our awareness and grow and really step into that next level version of who we desire to be and show up as for ourselves and those we love, what I want you to know is that when we start integrating, right? Integrating these other energies, the energies, the emotions that I'm talking about, when you are, for example, again, trying to do your positive affirmations and they feel like you are either saying or writing a lie. This is where I want you to have that awareness. And it's not about doing that spiritual bypass and, trying to force yourself to feel better or force yourself to be high vibe or force yourself to think positive. What if you actually paused and stopped and allowed yourself to simply witness and observe and have compassion and acceptance for those feelings, like whatever the lies, quote unquote, that are coming up. And I say lies because, again, when we're doing the affirmations, I know for me, there have been times where it felt like I was trying to write something and it felt like it was a lie, right? I was writing something quote unquote positive that I wanted to step into and it felt like a lie. And that's what I want you to look at. That's what I want you to actually pause and take some time to be with those beliefs and those feelings that don't want to believe and are not on board with whatever positive thought or belief you are trying to instill or reprogram or rewire. And when you can spend time with that flip side, with that quote unquote negative thought, negative belief, and actually simply honor and be with it and accept it and not judge it and not make it wrong, that's when the magic happens, right? Because horses don't make themselves wrong, right? For wanting the grass on the other side of the fence, right? We can make ourselves wrong for being greedy and wanting more, right? Wanting the thing on the other side of the fence, the thing that we don't have or can't have yet, right? Or think we can't have yet. And so my message here to you is that as we allow ourselves to be fully true and honest with ourselves, now we are coming into full alignment. Now we are coming into integrity. And as we do that work, which is really just an expanded awareness and a deeper level of self-compassion, self-acceptance, and what I call radical self-love, as we do that and give ourselves permission and time to literally do that instead of trying to force ourselves to feel a certain way or think a certain way, now we are allowing for the wholeness, the integration of the darkness and the light. We are allowing ourselves to be like horse, right, in full integrity, in alignment with our truth, right? And it does not mean, and this is something I think that can come up, and I know it did for me, does not mean if we start thinking negative that we're going to manifest negative things in our life. Contrary, we actually take away its power when we acknowledge it, when we expand our awareness and be with it, and again give it acceptance and compassion and kindness and love, and not judge it or make it wrong. It is when we judge it and make it wrong, and we criticize ourselves and make ourselves wrong for having those feelings or thoughts, that's when we're actually giving it the power and amplifying that energy. So let me know if you're picking up what I'm putting down. I hope that this message that wanted to come through today serves you. And until next time, I want to just remind you that you are enough, that you don't need to be fixed, and that whatever feelings or thoughts that you might have that might seem, or that you might want to judge as negative, or criticize and feel like you shouldn't be thinking or feeling that way, what if you can give yourself a little bit more love today, a little bit more permission to simply witness and be with those thoughts and feelings, and let me know what happens. So I will see you next time. Ciao for now, and namaste.